Hey guys, today I want to give you guys a guide on understanding when to roll. So understanding when to roll is one of the fundamentals of TFT, and basically the main idea is to roll when you need to get stronger. So to be precise, you actually want to roll when you can get stronger easily. And what does it mean to get stronger easily? Well, it's not very clear and it's not very easy to define. So in this guide, I tried to break down into basic pieces of what get stronger easily actually means. Here's the key idea. The value of rolling is extremely high in certain cases, and in those cases, you should always roll, or you should almost always roll. So the first case is if you have any free slots on your team, you should always roll. Free slots in this case being units that are essentially don't provide any meaningful synergies on your team, or units that don't provide any meaningful abilities for your team. The second case is that you should almost always roll when you have a good amount of pairs. Usually around 4 pairs is when I almost always roll, and I like to roll down when I have until 3 pairs or less. The third case is that you need to roll for direction at level 6 or level 7. So in this case, you need to roll down until you hit a critical mass of the units for a particular composition, and then you can sell the rest. Sell the rest of the unrelated units. And then the last case is to roll when your HP is low. But in this case, everybody understands the rolling when your HP is low, so I'm not going to cover it in this guide. So here's the first rolling strategy. Rolling for free slots. This is easily the highest type of high value rolling to understand, and it's actually the most common low elo flex gameplay mistake. So whenever I watch the low elo play, I always see them keep dead units on the board. And what they don't realize is that by spending a very trivial amount of gold, they can get their board a lot stronger. I think, in my opinion, this tip alone can probably get you into Diamond Elo, because this tip alone can improve your strongest board playstyle by such a big amount. So once again, basically, when you have any bad units on the board that don't provide any synergies or any strong abilities for your board, you usually want to roll once or twice to find any upgrades. So let me give an example. So here I have a game of Trick TG. It's currently stage 5-1 and he's 60 HP. He's in a very dominant spot for this in his current game. He has very strong items for Teemo. He has very strong abomination items. This is definitely looking like a game where he plays for top 2. So in this case, he ends up going fast 9. If you can look at the bottom left, he ends up dumping about 20 gold into leveling. But what he doesn't realize is that he actually has 3 free slots that he needs to fill in order to get a lot stronger. So in this case, he has 3 units that are completely dead in his team. They don't provide any meaningful synergy, they don't provide any meaningful ability, and they don't provide any sort of board upgrade. In this case, he has Leona, he has Aatrox, and he has Galio. By rolling once or twice here, if he's able to find any Revenant, any Mystic, he can get a lot stronger. So in this case, I would at least roll down to at least 20 to 30 gold to fill out your board with Revenants, Mystics, maybe units like Heimerdinger in order to get a lot stronger. So yeah, that's a really big tip for lower elo players. The second tip is to rolling with pairs. And here, the basic idea is that when you have a lot of pairs on your board or on your bench, you're actually a lot more likely to hit. In this case, if you're rolling for 4 units, you're technically 4 times more likely to hit than if you're rolling for 1 unit. I don't know if the math actually checks out here, but it's close enough. I personally like to stop rolling until I have 2 or 3 pairs left. And then so a key insight to notice is that you might get more pairs when you're rolling down. So basically, let's just say you start with 4 pairs, you might go to 5 pairs and 6 pairs. And while rolling down, you want to make sure that you keep that track in your mind. So you have 6 pairs, you want to roll down until you have about 3 pairs left. So I have an example of this game. Here, Nubao has is 3-3, and Nubao's board has a lot of pairs. You can see he has a Soraka pair, he has a Nunu pair, and he has a Gragas pair. In this case, he also has a free slot, right? Because he has 2 Nunus on the board, and he has 3 Brawlers on the board. So there's a few free slots over here. So I'm gonna click on this link, and you guys can watch what Nubao does. So he goes ahead and starts rolling. He hits multiple pairs, and then he finishes up his last pair, and then he stops. So what he ends up with a Soraka pair, and he ends up filling his free slot with a Rakan. So in this case, the reason why Nubao rolled is to hit some of his pairs, and he stops when he hits enough pairs. In this case, he only has a Soraka pair left. So then the third rolling strategy I want to point out is to roll for direction. Basically, when you're rolling for direction, it's often because you're low HP and you need to find a direction in order to find a carry, stabilize with that carry, and slam items for that carry. Because until you have a carry, it's very difficult to actually make items. So, one other important note about rolling for direction is that sometimes rolling for direction can actually make you econ. Because by making your unit and making your carry, you can actually commit to that carry and sell all the unrelated bench units, hence making you money in the long run. So here's an example of me. This is currently stage 3-2. I'm 66 HP and I'm really low HP, so I need to go ahead and spike right now. You can see that my current board, I'm running Yasuo and Riven, and I'm keeping pair of Varus's in case I hit that, so I can commit to that as a carry. And here, I'm gonna roll down until I find a carry, no matter how low of an econ threshold, no matter how low of gold amount I get. So I start with 51 gold. You can see that if you watch this clip. Okay, here, you can watch me. I level up, and I keep rolling until I hit one either between a Riven or a Yasuo. So here I hit a pair of Rivens. Then I hit a pair of Yasuos. And then finally, at 0 gold left, I hit the pair of Rivens. I commit to the Riven for the rest of the game. I start immediately slamming Riven items and making the strongest Riven carry board I can make. And then after I commit to Riven, I sell the rest of my units because I no longer need them anymore. So that's a perfect example of rolling in order to find direction. I wanted to bring up these 3 rolling strategies because these 3 rolling strategies are the key to strongest board playstyle. You'll probably, if you start using them, you'll notice a huge improvement to your strongest board playstyle, and you'll notice that you'll almost like never unnecessarily bleed out HP at stage at level 6, 7, and 8 anymore. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys out. I think this is a very important concept for most players to learn, and definitely one of the strongest and most important fundamentals of TFT.